Hi guys, welcome back. I know you're probably tired of these updates. You're probably like, we don't need any more updates. We want a reading. Please do a reading. Um, Tomorrow and Friday, I've finally got a minute to just kind of take a breath and plan on doing a reading either tomorrow or Friday. I don't know which one it'll be, but it'll be one of them. I promise. So I really want to get Lucian Munguia's reading done. That's the first one. And then, oh my God, there's so much stuff going on right now in the YouTube world. AWP is just like, wow, mind blowing. But before I get into that, I did want to update you guys and let you know that everything went okay at my mom's place. I, got everything pretty much out of her apartment. She lives in a place for the elderly, and I believe anybody who may have a disability, they can stay there. It's a nice place. It's very secure. You have to go in and be buzzed in and everything. Very small place. Everybody knows everybody, and that probably took longer than doing the apartment because everybody wanted to know how she was doing and what was going on. So I went up to the hospital and waited there until they transferred her, and then I went up to the nursing home, stayed with her while they checked her in and did her vitals and weighed her and everything else. She was excited because she's gained 4 pounds. Apparently she's now up to 94 pounds. That's about what I gotta lose, and that's her total weight. So but that was good because she must have been eating more in the hospital than what she ate at home. They're gonna make sure that she has food. Okay, they're gonna make sure she has 3 square meals a day, and she's got all of her snacks. I made sure she had her cherry Coke. She loves cherry Coke, so I took that up there. She didn't want it yet, but I took it anyways. And I'm sure she'll be glad that she has it. So went back to the apartment, grabbed everything out of there that was her personals. She didn't have a whole lot. That was her choice. She didn't want a whole lot of furniture. She didn't want a whole lot of anything. But I took everything up there that is something that she's going to need up there. And then I cleaned up a little bit, not much. There were some food items that she just had sitting out on the counter, and so I threw everything away. But I am going to have to go back on Saturday, and there's one side table that she wants, and I'm going to take that up there, and then I'm going to go back to the apartment, and I am going to pretty much throw everything away. And there's a sofa there and a couple of tables. I did speak to the manager of this facility, and she told me that they have another resident that really is in dire need of a sofa, and I thought, wow, perfect. That's great. So the sofa is going to go to somebody else. And she also told me whatever furniture is in there, whatever I don't want or I can't take, just to go ahead and leave it, and they will make sure that if anybody needs anything, they've got it. So that helps me out so much. Now, my mom doesn't have a whole lot, but somebody might use a table or a chair or something like that, and I'm glad that somebody is getting a sofa that needs a sofa. And what else do I gotta do? I pretty much just have to clean. I have to clean. I'm gonna take my vacuum over there on Saturday, and I'll wipe down all the cabinets and the cupboards and just do what I gotta do, and hopefully I'll be done with it on Saturday. I don't really foresee it taking too long, because I pretty much emptied out everything today and took it up to the nursing home. So she has everything that she needs right now, except for that small table. So that's where I'm at as far as my mom is concerned. She was in good spirit. She was happy to be there. She wanted to be there. She knows it's a small town. She knows just about everybody that works there. Everybody knows her. So I feel like she is in good hands. And there was one particular nurse that she has known for probably about 30 years and was really good friends with. They actually worked, my mom was a CNA at this very same nursing home when I was growing up. And this lady, this nurse, she's a nurse now, but she was a CNA at that time. and they worked together. They were close friends. And this lady is a nurse there now, and she has been there all these years, and she was there the last time my mom was there, and she went in there, and I seen her in the hallway, so she asked how she was doing, and I told her she was there. She went down and visited her, so I know that she's well taken care of, and you know, she's comfortable there, and that's what matters. So that's where we're at. That's what we're going with. So not a whole lot left to do. Like I said, I'm gonna go there Saturday, but in the meantime, I do want to get Lucian's video done, and I do want to do a reading on AWP, because like I said, wow, mind-blowing. I would like to pull on Jared's overall energy. Okay, I want to see, you know, what is Jared like. Now, I don't know these guys very well. I have never been a follower of AWP. Now, I subscribed to them during the Kylie Rodney case, and I thought that they did a phenomenal job. I think that the work that they do is great. You know, they provide closure for so many families. But I'm having a hard time believing that these other guys maybe didn't know about what was going on with Jared. But I guess, first of all, I digress. So I don't know them like by names. Okay, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know them that well. It wasn't until Kylie Rodney that I started following them, and even then, I have not had time to watch any of their videos. The only video I've seen is the Kylie Rodney video. So having said that, I'm reading on these guys and not knowing a thing about them personally. Now, the only one that I'm somewhat familiar with is the guy with the beard, and I'm assuming that's Doug. I think that's Doug. So when I think of AWP, he's the guy in my mind that I think of, because he's the one that did all the well, I know they all did interviews, I guess, but he's the one I associate to AWP. So I actually thought it was his business, it was his company, but apparently it's Jared. So I don't really know the ins and outs of this team. And that'll help with the reading, because, you know, I don't really have any kind of preconceived ideas except for with Jared, but, you know, I'm human. This is quite the skeleton in the closet. And I would like to ask, you know, what is his, I want to just see what his overall personality is, because it sounds like from what's coming out is that excuse my language, but he's an ass. I mean, he's an ass, and he doesn't take any responsibility for any of his actions, apparently. You know, so I'm really curious to see what comes out on that. And then I also want to ask and see if the other guys, you know, were aware of these things. Did they know about it, or are they just as shocked as everyone else? You know, so that's kind of interesting. A subscriber actually sent me the link to Squirrel Girls video the other day. Squirrel Girl put out a video. I had already watched it though, and that was shocking because it was actually in my feed on YouTube. I like Squirrel Girl, but again, I don't have a whole lot of time to watch a whole bunch of videos. I don't think I've ever watched a full video of Squirrel Girl, but for whatever reason, this video came up and I watched the entire thing, and it was quite interesting. And it was the one that she recently posted when she talked about her conversation with Nick, the roadside assistance guy. And there's some crazy things that she talked about. Now, she doesn't have any screenshots or any kind of recording, so, you know, I'm just taking her word for it. That this was the conversation. I don't pick up anything about her being dishonest or anything like that. So I do believe that what she said was said. So having said that, the big thing is number one, Nick, roadside assistance guy, 100% believes that he's seen Kylie Rodney that day at Boca on that Saturday. He is not sure about the mail. All he said was he remembered the hat and he remembered something like acne, but he did not, he was not able to identify who this person was, which is the exact opposite of what AWP kind of insinuated during the investigation. I mean, they pretty much said that the guy was identified 100%, right? I mean, and everybody just kind of took that as, okay, it's Jagger. It's got to be Jagger. So that they didn't say specifically that it was Jagger, but you know, we were led to believe that. So that's concerning. You know, if he's saying now, no, I can't identify this person, even if I looked at photos, and they said the opposite, you know, what is it? You know, what is it then? So what happened? So he's saying that 100% it was Kylie, but he is not confident about the male. Now, we have a problem, though. We have a major problem because we've got fire cam footage that pretty much shows a car going into Prosser on Friday night. There's only one car that was in Prosser, as far as I know. As far as I know, there's only one car in Prosser. And, you know, so how could it have been Kylie Saturday at Boca? How is that possible? You know, a couple of things. You know, memory recollection is faulty. Okay, he might have seen Kylie's photo in the flyers and on TV, and in his mind, that is who he believes he's seen. Now, I do believe that he believes that he's seen Kylie. Whether he's seen Kylie or not, I don't know. I'm not sure. That's another reading right there. You know, it's possible that it was somebody else, and he just, in his mind, thinks that it was Kylie. I don't get that I don't feel anything negative about him coming up, okay? I feel like he believes what he's saying. He believes that he's seen Kylie. But, again, whether he did or not, I don't know for a fact. So then we have the fire cam footage. So something's not right here, right? Something's not right. Something doesn't add up. This, you know, either his memory is faulty, or maybe the fire cam footage is not accurate. I don't know, guys. I look at that fire cam footage and I see lights. I see lights going in different places, okay? I'm not a computer expert. I'm not Gray Hughes. I can't put overlays on there and, you know, look at this angle and shift this around and lighten this. I can't do that, okay? So, you know, I'm just looking at it for what it is, okay? And all I see is lights going this way, going that way, turning off, turning on. But it does look like a car going into something. And then we see the light get dimmer and dimmer and dimmer until it's finally gone. And so it makes sense that it was a car, and it makes sense that it was Kylie in her car. But you can't see the car, okay? You can't identify the actual car. You definitely can't see who's in the car. Could have been a group of 10 for all we know. Or it could have been just Kylie, or none of the above. It's hard to tell. You cannot see those types of things. Was she the one behind the wheel? If it was her, which I feel like it was, you know, was she the one driving? Was she, you know, knocked unconscious? Was she already in the back? Who knows? Who knows? So I do think it's worth another read, but I don't like the fact that AWP did put out pretty much insinuating that it was Jagger that day, and let everybody kind of run wild with that idea. So that, yeah, I don't know. I'll tell you what, though. You know, I don't get Lindsay. I don't understand Lindsay. You know, and I understand that everybody grieves differently. And God forbid if I don't even want to say if I were in a situation like that, because I don't even want to put that out into the universe, but I would be just absolutely livid. I would be so hot and demanding to know what happened to my child. I would be screaming on the mountaintops, wanting to know what the hell was going on. Because I feel like something is going on. Something's not right with this case. Something's not right with this case, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a cover-up. I don't know if somebody was involved in this and maybe they're a child of somebody high up in that I don't know, but there's something wrong with this case. There's something wrong with this case. One other thing that was a major thing that came out in Squirrel Girls video was the fact that Nick confirms that there are cameras on those trucks. They have cameras for protection. And he is adamant that he was out at Boca on that Saturday. He said that, you know, his phone phone has it on his GPS. He was there. But when he went back to ask the supervisors at the company if they could check the video footage, you know, one pretty much told him that, you know, there was no video footage, and not only that, but he wasn't there either. And the other one, at least I guess, acknowledged that he was at Boca, but said that there was no video footage either. And that kind of threw him, and he was wondering what the hell was going on. Like, I know that there's a camera on my truck, and I know that it records, and it's a safety feature for us as well as the customer. So where did the video go, and why are you telling me that I wasn't there? Because I know damn well I was at Boca on Saturday. I was called out there. I mean, that's something that I would imagine would be easily verifiable, right? That there's a record of all calls coming in. It's just odd. So that bothers me a lot. And this is a different, this company, this roadside assistance, it has nothing to do with the law enforcement agency, right? So are you telling me that there's such a cover-up here that somebody from the agency or somebody from this town of Truckee went to this company and said, hey, get rid of this? Is that what happened? And if that's what happened, then you have to ask who and why. Who are they trying to cover for, and why do they want this to go away? Why do they want this swept under the rug? And Lindsay seems to be okay with it. She seems to be okay with that. In fact, seems to prefer it that way. So those were the two biggest things that came out in Squirrel Girls video, in my opinion. Okay, the fact that no, Jagger was not identified 100%, and the fact that his company is now denying that they have video cameras or recorders, and you know, one guy is even telling him he wasn't out there. That's not good. That's a problem. That is a major problem. There's something here that just gives me a nasty feeling about this whole case. That there's something that's wrong. All right, it just doesn't make any sense, and I don't know. I don't know if it has something to do with the kids. You know, the teens. If a teen is the child of somebody that is, I don't know. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just the weirdest thing ever. And it's like a Twilight Zone. That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of the Twilight Zone. Like, really? Is this happening? Is this... what? So apparently Nick ended up leaving this company shortly after the whole thing. According to Squirrel Girl, according to him, he chose to leave. He was not let go. He chose to leave. You know, if that's the case, I don't blame him. You know, the whole thing is just weird. I wouldn't feel comfortable. I would not feel comfortable working at a place that told me that I wasn't at a location either. So, you know, who knows? So that's another reading that's coming up. You could talk about the Kylie Rodney case all day, every day, and still come back to square one, because nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. I'm assuming that the fire cam footage is legit. I don't know why it wouldn't be. I assume that they use those fire cams for fires, right? So, you know, could it have been doctored? Could the day have been I don't know. I don't feel like it was. I don't feel like the fire cam footage was altered in any way, but it is, it's in my mind. It is in my mind, but I would say, if anything, I would think that maybe Nick's recollection was not 100%. You know, I like I said, I do believe that he believes that he's seen Kylie, but whether he's seen Kylie or not, I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I've got to have a pretzel. I'm actually a little hungry. I haven't eaten since this morning. White chocolate covered pretzels. I need something. I apologize for eating on camera. I don't know. Sometimes it helps just to talk these things out. Talk them through, you know. What are some of the possibilities? What makes sense? What doesn't make sense? And what makes sense is that Kylie Rodney did go into Prosser that night after the party for whatever reason, okay? And Nick, the roadside assistance guy, did get called out to Boca. And maybe it was a young girl that looked like Kylie. Maybe it was a girl that looked like Kylie that had a very similar car. What's the coincidence of that, though? What's the coincidence of that? I don't believe in coincidences. Coincidences to me don't exist. There's a connection. There's something wrong here. There's something that stinks in Truckee. Like, real bad. Now, I'm assuming that when somebody calls for roadside assistance, they have to give their name, right? You probably have to give your name, maybe the make and model of your car. I don't know. I'm thinking along the lines of like AAA with your insurance. They have your policy number and everything like that. They know exactly who you are. And when they come out, they verify that that's you and that's your car before they do anything. But it doesn't sound like that's what this case, it doesn't sound like that's what this was. It sounds like this was kind of like one of those 311 emergency roadside assistance type things. So what I want to know is, did the phone call come in under Kylie? You know, did this person say, yes, my name is Kylie Rodney and I'm at, you know, Boca and my car won't start? There's got to be a log of that somewhere. So that company could shut that down, though. That company could erase all of that information. If they're willing to get rid of the camera footage, then they'd be willing to delete that phone call. There's got to be a phone call. Where's the phone call to roadside assistance? Now, in any other situation, you would think, okay, no big deal. Law enforcement will look into this and they'll figure it out, but not in this case. Okay, we have a crooked law enforcement that is part of the problem, so we don't know. We're not ever going to get that information, but that information exists. common sense would say that this wasn't Kylie at Boca. Common sense would say the person that is the most logical is going to say that that wasn't Kylie. But if it wasn't Kylie, why go through all the trouble of getting rid of the video footage? Why, if this wasn't Kylie and it was somebody else, wouldn't law enforcement and everybody want to put the information out to prove to us that it wasn't Kylie? Wouldn't law enforcement be like, here guys, okay, stop the nonsense. Okay, Kylie went into Prosser on Friday night. This was not Kylie. This was not Jagger. Here's the video. Let's put this to rest. Why not do that if it's not Kylie? Why not shut everybody up and ease our suspicions and speculation and release the video footage if it exists, which I'm sure it does. They can't do that. Why? They're not going to do that. We know that they're not going to do that. And if they're not going to do that, then you have to ask, why aren't they going to do that? What are they hiding? Why do they not want us to see whether or not this was Kylie or not? So that is, to me, that makes me think that this, this probably was Kylie. And if it's Kylie, then what the hell is the fire cam footage at 12:30 on Friday night? Maybe it's not a car going in the water. Like I said, I can't make heads or tails of it. To me, it's just a bunch of lights flickering all over the place. Maybe it looks like a car went in the water, but it didn't. I don't know. But then there was a car in the water. We know she ended up in the water eventually. Could it be from another night? Has the time been altered on it? Maybe the time's been altered on it. Maybe it's not the right day. I know that in the beginning it was a live feed, and so you could just go in there and put the time in. And you know, you would think that that would be legit, right? But not in this situation. Nothing is legit in this case. Everything could be altered. Is it possible that she went into that water Saturday night? Or Sunday night? Monday night? I mean, anything's possible at this point. I mean, I would lean towards that more than anything. I would lean towards that very well could have been her at Boca. The guy, Nick, he's right. He's seen Kylie. She was in distress. She was with somebody. She was in distress. Something happens and, you know, she ends up in Prosser. Something stinks with this case. Something stinks. And the fire cam footage is just the wrong day. Wrong day. Maybe wrong day, wrong time. Who knows? If somebody so high up could go to a roadside assistance company and tell them to get rid of any video footage that you have, then they are very much capable of altering a fire cam footage video as well. Look how fast they shut that live feed down as soon as people discovered that fire cam footage. All the YouTubers were going to this system and typing in the days or the day and the time. And then it wasn't even 24 hours later that was shut down. Like, you couldn't go back to that day or something. There was something like that. They shut that down immediately. Why would they? I mean, I understand that it was an active investigation and, you know, it's evidence and all of, I get all that stuff. I do. I get it all. But you want it to be an accident. You want us to believe this was an accident. And here's this proof of an accident. And then all of a sudden you shut it down. Is it for legitimate reasons that it's an active investigation, or is it because they don't want people to see that the date was wrong? Maybe if, you know, people had had more time to dig into it, they would have discovered something that wasn't right with the time and the day. So like I said, the logical mind would say that this guy, Nick, he didn't see Kylie and it was somebody else. It was somebody else that looked like Kylie. It was somebody else that had a car like Kylie. It was somebody else that maybe said their name was Kylie. And how ridiculous does that sound, really? Just saying it out loud. What are the odds of that? So Kylie's gone missing. She didn't go home. There's a girl out at a local area that looks like Kylie, possibly called in and said she needed help and reported her name as Kylie, has the same car as Kylie, but it wasn't Kylie because Kylie was already in Prosser. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. So I am almost home. I cannot believe that I rambled for a whole 25 minutes. But I did. This is just one of those cases that just, I don't know if we'll ever get answers, to be honest with you, but I don't feel like this was a complete accident. I really don't. And I'm not one of those people that is like way out there in conspiracy theories, but you know what? Conspiracy theories do exist. I mean, do I believe in all conspiracy theories? No, but the term itself, look up the history of the term conspiracy theories, okay? This was something that was created to cover up secret types of information, and it was just labeled conspiracy theory to make it look like, you know, it was silly. And I think it was it the CIA that came up or coined it? I believe it was the CIA, if I'm not mistaken. There's some origin. I remember looking into the origin of the term conspiracy theories, okay? So I'm not even a big believer in, I mean, I know that some people are, you know, there's a whole host of things that people believe in, right? And I'm not saying that I believe in all these things, but I think that there is some sort of a major cover-up in the Kylie Rodney case. I really do. Something's not right in Truckee. And I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's more than one person or if it's a group of people. I don't know how far up this goes, but and why Kylie? Why the covering up of Kylie? It's got to be who is involved. It's got to be a teen. That's the only thing that makes sense, is that there's a teen involved in what happened to Kylie. Oh my God, I thought that was a squirrel. It was just a leaf. Oh my God. Oh God, poor squirrel. Oh, it wasn't a squirrel though, thank God. Oh God, I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I accidentally rode over a squirrel. I'm the type of person that will feed the squirrels peanuts and stuff and name all the squirrel. I probably have about 10 different names for 10 different squirrels, and it's probably just the same squirrel that I've given different names to, but I just couldn't see myself killing a squirrel. Oh God, that would be awful. But anyway, you know, it's gotta be somebody's child. And the unlucky person, the unlucky victim, was Kylie. I don't know, guys. I'm at home. I'm tired. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna take all this stuff in. I'm gonna change my clothes and finish up these fire starters tonight, and I am going to hit the sack. And when I hit the sack, I'm going to stay there until tomorrow, and then I'm going to get up and do a video. All right, guys, have a wonderful night. Bye.